Good morning. It is another beautiful day. I got out here early enough. It got started just a few minutes before sunrise. So I got to watch it roll on in, and it was beautiful. But anyway, I had a great hike yesterday. And obviously I shared a lot about, the community and the importance of it. And really, I mean, the biggest thing I think that has the ability to positively impact all of us, whether we're the receivers or the deliverers, is having a platform to be able to share our stories. And because if we have a platform to be able to share them in an area where, or in a situation where we are knowingly going to be delivering value to other people who are on a similar path, it feels good. It helps you start to, maybe for the first time in a long time, be able to tangibly see some of the value that you can deliver in the world. And as far as, the receivers of information, so many times we have these ideas and we don't go forward with them. And the reason we don't go forward with them is because we can't envision ourselves doing it. Or we're so stuck in blaming external circumstances for the reason we don't do anything that we just never get that spark or never get that flame lit so that we have the energy to go out there and do anything. So I think sharing those stories can have a tremendous impact on anybody who's on this journey. So I left the hike yesterday and went home excited my goal was to really dive in and get an understanding of the landscape of that 50 plus market in there online, so I could kind of see where I can fit. And I have done a little bit of looking, but I wanted to do more of a deep dive. And I legitimately looked at minimum 200 different YouTube channels that exist or have something to do with people that are 50 plus. And of those, and it's probably going to be the same across any vertical or any market segment or any theme of content that you're going to have on YouTube, there's literally no more than, maybe a dozen up to a couple dozen sites that have any consistent activity or any amount of followers or subscribers. And so then when you look at that, it can be a little bit discouraging if your process and your internal system is accustomed to looking for excuses as to not do something or find the negative side. But then I started to dig in and look at the content of those, dozen or so sites that were actually attracting any amount of attention, to pay attention to what types of topics were covered. And honestly, if I had to go to one more site and see the main topic of discussion of, a couple of 60-something-year-old women discussing friends with benefits and the difference between friends with benefits and lovers. Great topics. Really not anything I'm really that interested in. But so then that started to make me think about, oh my gosh, if this is going to be a community, is it going to be a community of just dudes who are talking about all this macho stuff? Because there's only a couple of those sites that had any traction. One of them happened to be, it was like, I think the title was 50 plus man living in Thailand with his young wife, and there was one, or young girlfriend, I think it was, and there was like one video, and that was it. Or, people who say age doesn't matter, flexing their muscles at late 50s, showing off that physique. And it's essentially just a picture with a video of them doing a workout and then nothing else. So I was like, all right, so is it just going to be about dudes? Because the stuff I'm seeing out here is not that interesting. And I don't want it to be sexist. I want to make sure that it's a community that facilitates both, because it doesn't matter if we're men, women. We're all going to be on a similar journey. We're all going to be figuring stuff out. And the thing we have in common is that we've made it through this first 50 years, and we have an opportunity to look back. We have some comparison data. We get to look at all the stuff we learned in that first 25 years. And then we got to see what experiences that delivered to us in that second 25 years. And now we get to rewrite those rules and go forward in a different way. And it doesn't matter if we're guys or girls. So I want to make sure that this community is a community for us, all of us, regardless of what age. There might be a younger achiever who's like, all right, I want to see what the 50-somethings think about, even though I'm only 25, because I want to leverage their learning. I recognize there's wisdom and experience, and I'm going to reboot the direction of my life now. So, whatever. But I think I'm really excited to see how that's going to develop, and I'm going to have to do some things intentionally right in the beginning to make sure that doesn't happen. Another thing I thought about is I had the grand awakening yesterday that I needed some people, some partners in this venture to go and kick things off. And it's funny to me that, even 5 or 6 days into my thinking on this, I didn't realize that a community does not exist when it's one person. A community is a group of people. So therefore, I have to make sure that if I'm going to have a community, the first thing is it has to be a community. So I'm really excited about that. I've got some people in mind who I'm going to be reaching out to. I want to have a conversation with them, talk to them about this idea, this concept, get some feedback from them. And then once that happens and once we're all ready, that's when the community begins. So I'm glad I slowed down. I'm glad I put more thought into it, because there are some elements that I'm going to have to think about along the way. And please, if you have any ideas, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below, reach out to me, whatever. This is for us. It's not for me. So let me know. Talk to you later. Bye.